In life, it's all about lessons. It's all about lessons that are going to lead you to the truth. That truth is understanding who you are. And as you go through life, you have to recognize that no matter which direction, which way you go, which thing you choose, that there are going to be lessons, and eventually you will get led to the destination. The destination is self-awareness. The destination is self-realization. And you're either going to get there fast or you're going to get there slow. Not to make spirituality about speed, because we know time is something that's very abstract, but it's more of a symbolic representation of the process, right? And how you can go through this process. You can go through this process, with lots of joy and excitement and adventure, or you can go through the process with a lot of pain, suffering, maybe even depression, things of that nature. And so what decides how you take this path, right? Because not only is there a metaphorical path that we take when we make decisions in life, but there's an emotional path, there's a mental path, like there's a multitude of paths layered on top of one another. There's the feeling of how you are actually moving, right? The feelings that you will carry with you as you take on this path, take on this journey. And so when it comes to taking on the journey and learning your lessons, you can learn things fast or you can learn them slow. Now, let's get back to how do you determine that? What determines whether you learn fast or slow? Well, if you are leading, or rather, if you are being led by consciousness, you will learn the lessons fast. You will learn the lessons fast. They will be simple, and you will have a more pleasurable experience going through life. Now, on the other hand, if you are being led by ego, then you're going to learn the lessons slow. And with that slowness comes more pain, more suffering, right? So you want to be mindful about this and think about all the aspects and the experiences you've had in life where you were really stubborn and hard-headed and you didn't want to just listen to what your intuition was telling you. You just wanted to try to maybe be in competition with somebody. You wanted to prove other people wrong. You wanted to, just get it done for the sake of getting it done and not really focusing on, does it align with me or not? And so as you went to go get it done to prove somebody wrong, to hurt somebody's feelings, what have you, not coming from a positive place, then the lessons took a long time for you to come to accept and receive because you're being led by the ego. The ego is stubborn. The ego will drag you through the mud and drag you really slowly. But on the other hand, if you are being led by consciousness, if you're coming from a high vibrational space and state of mind, then you're going to let go of the idea of competition. You're going to let go of the idea of trying to prove somebody wrong or trying to hurt somebody or be spiteful. You are simply going to align with the positive emotions of the journey of you coming into self. And that journey will be pleasurable. It will be positive. It will be an adventure, right? It'll be joyful and wonderful. But you have to be led from a positive space. And that positive space is your consciousness leading you through. So you have decisions to make with everything that you decide, everything that happens in life, every fork in the road. You can either be led by emotion, you can either be led by ego, or you can either be led by consciousness. Which one are you going to decide? You're going to be led by ego and learn very slow and possibly deal with a lot of suffering and pain, or you're going to go the easier route, the path of less resistance, which is being led by consciousness, being led by the light, and being in a space where you are at a positive and high frequency vibration. So that way you can let go of anything that's going to weigh you down and keep you away from the things that you desire, right? Now, eventually you're going to get there. Eventually we will all get to that destination, whatever that means, right? The destination of personal fulfillment, the destination of self-realization, the destination of recognizing and understanding who you are as an expression of quote unquote God, as a individual expression called you. Now, the process by which you take is the journey. It's just like watching a movie. We all know the hero is going to win. It's just we want to know, and we're watching the movie to see how it gets done, what processes, what decisions it makes, what struggles it goes through or not goes through, right? You are the hero in this story. So you have to decide, are you going to lean toward being the villain and being led by the ego, right? And being dragged through the mud and always losing? But even the ego, even the villain eventually will kind of come around over the course of time, right? We find in the best stories, the best plots, the best story arcs, the villain ends up becoming more of an anti-hero person, and that makes for the best story. Whereas if you are on the level of aligning with consciousness, then you are moving more easily because everything is clear. You have clear boundaries and standards, right? There's a clarity as to the path that you are to take. And no matter what quote unquote difficulties lay ahead, with that sense of clarity, those difficulties almost fade away. You face them, deal with them, and you keep moving. But when you're being led by ego, those difficulties becomes a movie in themselves, right? They become part of your arc, your story. And you hold on to them and you attach to them more than you probably should. But this is your story. So you get to decide how you want to, move throughout this story, how you want to play your role, how you want to play your part. I recommend, of course, leaning toward the side of consciousness, making sure that you are moving in a space that is aligned with who you truly are and essentially making life more enjoyable, right? Enjoyable. But rather, if you want to go on the side of the ego, you want to be different, you want to experience some of the pain, some of the hurt, then so be it. But eventually you will still get to the same path. You will still get to the same result or destination along your path. So again, how do you want to go through this life? How do you want to eventually get to the self-realization? Do you want to learn the easy way, the way of consciousness? Or do you want to learn the hard way, the way of the ego? Do you want to be the hero or do you want to be the villain who eventually still becomes the anti-hero anyway, aka the hero, but with more of an edge? Okay, sure, right? Some people like that edge stuff, right? They want to be on the edge, whatever. The point is, you're going to get there eventually. And this is the thing that you have to recognize the most along your journey, because a lot of times along this journey, we feel heavy and we feel daunted by this idea that we may not make it. And I want to assure you that's false. I want to assure you true spirituality is not the way of many religions that state and preach that if you don't make it, you're going to go somewhere bad. True spirituality acknowledges that we all will get there eventually. It's just deciding how you want to take this walk, how you want to walk this path, how you want to take on this mission, this objective. So the choice is yours. I just want to empower you and give you the support of understanding what's happening in life right now for you, and that your decisions matter. Remember, life is not happening to you. Life is happening from you. Thank you so much. Feel free to go to drabundant.com, subscribe to my daily newsletter, and also get access to this free ebook, The Power Within. I will also invite you to my Manifestation Monday morning meetings at 7 a.m. every Monday morning, and I look forward to seeing you there. Continue to join me on this journey. Peace and abundance always.